Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Why is this guy smiling?
I don't know why I started smiling.
I
tried to look down you. I didn't want to look at you.
Keep going.
Right. Hi guys, welcome to the Movie Club UK. This is season 2, episode 10. I want to say this is the season finale, I guess, or the last review
Yes.
for this season.
Bonus episode.
Yeah. My name is Mudia and I'm here with my two co-hosts who are the best reviews in the game at the moment, Fizz and Ash.
Hi guys.
What's going on, people?
They review the stuff to let you guys know what's worth your time and what's not worth your time. Today we are reviewing, do you know what? I struggle to actually remember the name of this film. One of them days.
Yep.
One of them.
But the amount of times I've had to say, what's that film again? Or I've gone into our chat to scroll up to see the name of the film because I'm always referring to it as
One of those.
I say one of those days.
No, I'm not even saying one of
Yeah.
those. I'm just saying that SZA film, the one with SZA and Keke
Guys, so
Palmer.
useless.
That's literally what I've been doing.
Look at the man saying that.
But today we are reviewing One of Them Days. It came out one of those days.
One of those days.
One of those days.
One of them days.
One of them days. Sorry.
You know what's crazy? I have it in front of me as well.
So
one
do
of
I,
those
I'm
days.
just messing it up. The film originally came out January 17th in America, but obviously it's come out recently in the UK just last week Friday.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about reviewing this one?
That felt good. It's been a while since we did a comedy film. So I was pretty much up for, a good laugh. I was thinking, yeah.
I think he said it's been a while. I think
I
this is
don't
the
think we've
first.
ever done one.
We've never done one?
Not like a pure comedy.
Nah.
Okay, no.
So
Yeah.
there'll be elements of like comedy, but an
Yeah.
actual like sort of fun, light-hearted joke of a film. I think.
Yeah,
this
so,
is,
to be fair, when we think about it, yeah.
I
This is
think
the first one.
Deadpool, Deadpool Wolverine was
Yeah.
but that was a superhero movie in that realm. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is our first pure comedy.
comedy, yeah. And I think going into it, it's almost like I could take my serious sort of persona away, or my serious hat, whatever you want to call it, just take that away. Like I went into the cinema when it started, and I just felt like I could relax
Just chill out, innit?
watching this.
Yeah.
But it did feel like at the start anyway, of this is like something I could get on Amazon Prime or Netflix.
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna get into that.
Oh, 100%.
We need to get into that.
We need to
We
get into that,
definitely
but
need
that
to get
was
to that.
also.
So where did you
my
guys watch it?
edit. Anyway, I was really excited to do this one as well because it's our first comedy.
Yeah.
I really want to see how SZA does. Are you guys SZA fans?
Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Keke
I'm not a
Palmer.
fan of that album artwork though.
Which one?
What, the one with the alien?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's when I
that's
started.
crazy.
Am I really a SZA fan when I saw that? But yeah, okay. The music's great
Okay.
though, but yeah.
And I love Keke Palmer. She's like the woman of the moment right now. So I was really excited to do this one. And also I'd seen in the US it got a really good reception.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we spoke about doing it,
Yeah.
and then we're like, it's not out in the UK yet.
Yeah.
I wonder why
Yeah.
that is. So that's.
But I think
exciting.
because of how well it did do in the US, that's why they decided to bring it overseas and to cinemas here. But to be fair, it's not like a blockbuster film. I wouldn't say it is because
it's definitely
even the times to kind of see it in the cinema, they might have been showing it. This is on the first week. First week, they normally have like 8 showings in some cinemas a day. This film maybe had 1 or 2.
When I was checking the view, it only had like 3.
3, yeah.
Three more time.
3 more time. And,
Yeah.
we wanted to catch the ones either after work or on the weekend. So it was a bit, difficult. But that being said, I'm just like yourself, huge SZA fan, huge Keke Palmer fan. And I just thought, let's actually see how this plays out because we've never seen SZA on screen as an actor before. But from the trailer, I could already tell, like, yeah, there might be some chemistry here. So let's see what we have. To be honest, I actually was going to go to the cinema with my mom and my sister to see it.
I had the same idea.
But then my sister said, Mum is not seeing this film. She said, yeah, this is not, we know what our mum likes to watch.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and she was just like, this ain't that, bro.
Okay, that's fair. Do you know what I've done before? I went to the cinema with my mum to see the film Girls Trip. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't seen
Nope,
Girls Trip, no.
never seen it.
I feel like any like black girl watching this will know what the film is. I'm actually going to mention it later on, but very R-rated.
Yeah.
And I was just in the film with my mum. But now I'm a bit older and it's just like, it is what it is. But
yeah. Fair enough. Guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we are on 234, 235 subscribers. Let's just try and get 240 because we've been on this 2-3 for for a long time.
Yeah,
so
man, come on,
guys,
share, like, comment, share with your people. Make sure everyone subscribes. I know a lot of you are watching the show and you're not subscribed, so
make sure you
hit
subscribe. The views are brilliant, but the subscribe button, that does wonders for us. So yeah, please do that. Ash, what you got for us in terms of our Ash Breaker today?
Well, we did mention this is our first comedy film, like pure comedy on the podcast. So I wanted to know, what is you guys' favourite comedy films or film of all time?
I got
Who
3.
wants to go first?
I mean, I
great.
got 3 too.
Okay, we both got 3.
Okay, good. I've got 3. Sure.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go through. I don't know if you want us to explain it or just go through what we got.
Go through. Tell me what you love about them.
So I got first Coming to America.
Okay.
The one with Eddie Murphy. I feel like that one, it sticks out to me because that's the one that I think my parents, they were just like, a lot of, I don't know, African parents, I guess. So like, have you seen that Coming to America? Like, they're always saying, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And then one day I just said, let me just watch what, these guys think is funny.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, it was hilarious. Like, it was the Prince of Zamunda. Like,
Do you know what's funny? I ain't seen it yet.
you ain't seen
Okay.
it?
Thank you. I haven't seen
I haven't
it.
seen
either.
it.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like little clips of that
you
with the
guys
gold
need
Oh,
to-
I was
chain
about
and
to lie.
all this
my-
stuff.
No.
Behind off.
You guys, please. What if there's any like film you just want to like watch in the background?
Is it on Netflix, Amazon Prime?
I don't know. I can't
must
remember
be.
what I watched it on. Maybe
Must
it was.
be.
This was back in the day. I must have watched it on one of these websites or whatever. But yeah, it was basically about a prince from Africa
Oh wow.
who came to America to find a wife. But in America, he's not telling people that he's a prince. He just wants a normal girl and somebody that loves him for him. So he goes through
hear
that.
that.
I'm telling you, I know you. Yeah, I know this guy. Watch it. You would love it.
Eddie
It's on
Murphy,
Amazon
right?
Prime.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime, yeah. So
It's Eddie Murphy, right?
Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
Okay. What's his accent like? Because I feel like that's been a conversation recently.
It's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a conversation since.
It's like, when people taking a piss out of the Wakanda thing.
Yes, Black
Oh, is it
Panther.
like-
Yeah.
Since
Oh
Black
my
Panther,
God.
I feel like that conversation of like African accents that they just take
Yeah.
one out of any region of Africa.
And they just say that's
And
the
just say
African.
that's what
But
it
to be
is,
fair,
yeah.
Zamunda, like Wakanda, is a made up place. So, but yeah, that one. Then I know you guys don't have this one, Shark Tale.
Oh, okay.
No, I definitely don't have that one.
Yeah.
No, I have something similar, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Shark Tale, we got Will Smith as Oscar, the Shark Slayer, all that kind of stuff. As a kid, that was probably like the comedy film to go to as a kid. Like the quotables from that film, I can quote almost like everything word for word. So Shark Tale, and the last one, I don't think you guys have this one either, but Mrs. Doubtfire. Have you guys watched Mrs. Doubtfire?
Never heard of it.
I
You need
watched
to
it
watch
when I
Mrs.
was
Doubtfire.
younger. Robin Williams.
Robin
yeah.
Williams. That's amazing. Basically, in short, it's about a husband and a wife who are not really kind of getting on in their marriage. The husband seems to be a bit immature for the wife, and she's just like, you need to fix up, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't fix up, and she's like, we're getting a divorce. Boom. I want the kids. Boom. This guy loves his kids so much. This guy dresses up as a nanny, yeah, and pretends to be a nanny to spend more time with his kids. But the guy's an actor in the film. He's an actor, so it's not hard for him to impersonate a nanny, wears a bodysuit, gets some boobs. Like,
I'm so dead.
he does a lot, and he ends
does
up
the
being the
most.
kids' nannies for like months and months and months, and the kids even catch on that. Dad, is that you? And he's like, yeah, it's me. But I just want to spend time with you. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But then he gets caught, and the whole thing is just, she takes him to court, and it's all mad. But that one, if there's another film you got to see that one as well. But
Yeah, cult. That's like not even a cult classic, like a family classic.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a
But
good
yeah,
one.
Those are my 3.
You really had so much variety.
Yeah, I
like
tried
Yeah.
to.
I mean, I can't say the same for me. I don't have no variety in mine. Because I mean, when I was younger, I didn't really watch like comedy films like that, but the 3 that got me, I mean, they're the same franchise.
Oh, no.
When I was in, no, don't say it. Don't say it.
I was gonna say it.
When I was in uni,
He knows I know it.
When I was in this, how you know? That's how I know
Yeah.
you know me. When I was in uni, I was watching this damn near every single day. 1, 2, and 3.
Of course.
Rush Hour
Of
1,
course.
Rush Hour 2,
Of course.
Rush Hour 3. I know that might be quite boring, but I'm sorry for me. Those 3 films are just so good.
I would say he's
like,
the biggest Rush Hour fan.
I love Chris Tucker so much, and that chemistry that him and Jackie Chan had. Oh my days, man! That used to like literally just made me laugh. I'll be in tears. I don't know if you remember Ben. Went to our school, tall Ben. He was in the year above.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember him? Yeah. Ben used to go to my yard sometimes. I used to go to his yard. Bro, we literally used to go on YouTube and type in rush hour funny moments, and we would just be there creasing.
Yeah.
Literally day and night just creasing. We could watch so many videos. Like, I just loved it, man. I just loved it.
No surprise. When he said that, I was gonna blurt it, but I said let him.
Like,
say
I'm such a simple
it.
man.
Go.
Like, literally, like, I can watch that film again, like over and over again. I just love it so much.
This guy said the whole franchise is top.
The whole franchise, yeah.
Which
like,
one's the best one?
The best one, I think number one, you know.
For sure, one.
Number one, yeah. Number one for me has to be the best one because just seeing how they are when they first meet.
when they first meet each other, yeah.
That's just, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I could watch that again. I might watch that tonight, actually. I can't lie to you. But yeah, no, legendary. Number 3 was the worst one, though. Number 3 was
because
they were just
they're just giving it to us.
Just giving it to us just for money grab. Maybe Jackie or Chris was a bit broke.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah. I hear it. If it's not broke, don't fix it or whatever.
Literally.
Just make it again. Okay, I'm glad none of us have got the same ones. You made that quite easy, but none of us have got the same ones. I've mentioned this on the podcast like a million times at this point. Shrek 2. But only because when I watched it as a kid, I thought it was hilarious. I watched it again as an adult.
It's hilarious.
And all the adult jokes
you get
all of a sudden got me. And I was like, this is so intelligent. Love it. White Chicks.
White Chicks.
Oh,
I knew you was
I thought you were going to say that.
I knew she was going to say White Chicks, actually.
I actually forgot about that.
That I watched.
Wow.
I think there was a time where I watched that on loop like 5 different times. It was the summer holidays. I was like 6. I watched it 5 different times on a loop.
Back then when we used to just, you could watch the same thing over and over.
Over and
what a
I
time
can
to be
still do that,
alive.
to be fair.
I can't.
But
I can't do that.
the Way
Not
and
back to back to
Brothers. I could still do that to this day. But the Way and Brothers, I think they won an award recently.
Yeah, aren't they making a number 2 for White Chicks?
I heard
Yes,
that.
I heard that. I don't know how that's going to go down in 2025.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know how that's going to go.
You have to dilute it, man.
They got that.
But
or else they're finished.
yeah, they're gonna have to. But and then there's another one, Rat Race. Have you guys watched that? It's got Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, and it's got a couple other people. I watched that so many times when I was a kid. I watched it
Say
recently.
the name again?
Oh, Rat Race.
Yeah, Rat
Oh,
Race.
Rat Race.
Rat
Yeah,
Race.
it's just about this group of people. Everyone is trying to get this cash prize of like $1 million, which obviously back in the day, $1 million is a lot now, but back in the day
What,
that
Mr.
was
Bean?
like, yes, it does. It's
Yeah.
got loads of people in it, and yeah, but they're all just trying to. It reminded me a lot of this movie actually when we get into it, but it reminded me they're all trying to get this money, but all getting into some really silly scenarios. So yeah, and that's one. And then I watched the Oscars. I stayed up until 4 a.m. watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
Anora won Best Picture and it won like 5 awards. It's not necessarily a comedy, but it's a recent favourite of mine because I did find it really funny. And it's also what made me realise, even with this film, we'll get into it, I prefer films that aren't necessarily meant to be a comedy,
I think so.
but have
I hear
the
that.
funny moments. And maybe it's like really like not funny for the first half an hour whilst it builds the story, but then there's that one moment that gets
just,
you.
Yeah, the switches.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fine.
I was gonna say just quickly on the Shrek stuff. Shrek 5.
Yes,
How,
that's
did you
coming
see
out
the
as well.
trailer?
I
How do you feel about it? Because some people
They're
didn't
gonna
really
have to
like,
go back and
change it?
the way that we bullied them to change that Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. Because remember when that first came
it
out,
was crazy.
we bullied them to put that back a year and get that animation correct. I think we're gonna have to do the same because I'm expecting the same looking Shrek. That sort of stuff bothers me. It shouldn't.
Even Donkey looks different.
Yeah,
as well,
like that's the people saying, well, you know, we're in 2025 now, you know, things are... No.
Not trying to hear
put
it, man.
back.
Not trying to hear
Otherwise,
it,
leave the film alone.
no word.
I don't mind it. I do feel like we're in 2025. There's new animation styles. There's
No.
new things you can do with animation.
Get with the
Let them have
times.
that.
Because I won't
Get with the
accept it as
times.
Shrek 5. Just call it another name then.
Someone said like Shrek 5 with a BBL.
I'm crying.
Probably.
So,
I'm
yeah.
crying. Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
it, for me, I would never accept that as part of the original sort of Shrek. It's the same thing. Obviously, they're doing a new Toy Story. If they tried that with Toy Story, come on, the amount of people that
It's
will
long.
just say,
It's long.
yeah, this is not what we know.
You're ruining our childhood, man.
I think they're gonna go back. I think they've pushed it back though. They have pushed it back. So it was supposed to come out mid 2026, right?
Is it coming 2027 though? Something
No,
like that.
at the end of 26. So it was mid 26.
Okay.
Now it's the end of 2026. So that maybe they've listened to us and they've gone back and tried to make some changes. But I think I read they don't want to clash with Toy Story. I think that's what they're saying. They don't want to. But I hope they change it because I'm not.
Come on, change it for Modia, man.
Please, for me, like if you care about me, change it. But the real fans, they want to see the original Shrek. They don't want to be seeing no.
I'm not a real fan, but it wasn't even on your list, and neither was Toy Story either.
No, but Toy Story is not a comedy though.
Is it feel good?
No, I'm letting you go with Shrek. Like I would say, Shrek 2 is a comedy.
Shrek 2, yeah.
Shrek 1's funny, like they will have funny moments, but Shrek 2, the genius in that, like I'm with you. I'm surprised that's not even on my list. So well done for that. But no, that's good that we actually discussed that because I was thinking coming into this, what comedies? Then I remember I've actually seen quite a bit. It's just how you categorize them as this is a comedy to be like, it's a comedy. But yes, today, like I said, guys, we'll be reviewing one of them days. I was going to say one of those again, but one of them days. So if you haven't watched the film and you intend on watching it, then pause this podcast, come back and press play once you've seen it. If not, we're going to go straight into it. What did you guys make of the overall sort of plot of this film?
Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Let me read the synopsis.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what I normally do.
How can you forget?
How can I forget? So the synopsis is literally 2 lines. That's probably why I forgot. It literally just says, when her boyfriend takes her rent money, Alyssa and her roommate race against the clock to avoid eviction and keep their friendship intact. Pretty plain,
simple.
What did you guys actually think when we talk about the nitty gritty of the film?
I enjoyed the film. I can't lie to you. I was literally laying in bed. Oh, sorry, I exposed myself.
What? Where were you?
Alright, cool. So
to be fair, it's on Amazon. It's on Apple TV. So
I don't even have Apple TV.
He doesn't have that. You don't have it either.
I was trying to save you. Okay.
I must admit, I got a bit lazy and I watched it in my home. I found a website. I'm not going to tell you because I will not promote that stuff. Go to the cinema and watch these films. Don't be like me. Be like Ozzy. Be like Ash. Go to the cinema.
I'm not sure about Ash, but
I watched the film. But no, honestly, I enjoyed it, man. Like 90% of the film, I was laughing, smiling. And I haven't had that feeling in a while. When I'm watching these kind of films. So no, it was good. And just the fact that just seeing how they tried to get the money, you know, by all means, by any means necessary. I said, no, this is insane. Like the things that they're going through, and just seeing the relationship between, I think it's Dreux and Alyssa. Is it Dreux?
Drew and Alyssa, yeah.
Drew and Alyssa.
Drew with the X.
Drew with the X, yeah, and Alyssa throughout that film. That was definitely something that interested in me.
Yeah.
Like,
What did you think of it, Ash, the overall plot?
I have to disagree. I didn't think it was the funniest thing I ever watched. I actually laughed twice, maybe. And I'll tell you which parts I laughed at. However, I enjoyed it. I can, for his eyes are burning into I did really enjoy it. I thought Keke and SZA had really good chemistry. I thought it was like a funny little, it was almost like a heist story. I think they call it a buddy comedy when you've got this duo. One's obviously like a mess and a bit too relaxed, and then the other one's really on the straight and narrow. So Drew's on the straight and narrow and very organised and strict and sensible, and then SZA, Alyssa, is more like happy-go-lucky. Yeah. And I thought that dynamic worked really well, but I unfortunately didn't find the film that funny. And now I want to know where Moody is with this, because I actually, Do
you know what? Yeah, I am leaning to your opinion.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I am leaning to her opinion. I'm not saying that the film wasn't funny, but I literally got out of there thinking, like I said at the start, this could have been on Prime, this could have been on Amazon, I mean on Netflix or whatever. It looks like it was a cheap, we'll go into the numbers, but in my mind it looks like a cheap, fun film to make. Nothing, you don't need to deep this film. Like you don't need to deep it at all. It's literally just a casual watch. And it was not meant for cinema. Maybe your opinion is like that because you didn't go. But I spent $9.99.
Yeah, I hear it still. You spent hard-earned money, so I hear it still. I do hear it.
I spent $9.99, and from where I was, I just felt like I laughed at a few bits, and a few bits were like ha 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 ha, but it was not like like belly aching.
There were some parts that were a little cringy, just a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I feel that as well. But overall, I just thought they did what they could with the story. It's not bad. There's nothing bad about the film. They did what they could, but I don't think it was meant for cinema.
I think I felt the same way, and I think now in like 2025, I'm distinguishing films between for the theaters, for streaming, and this was definitely one of those where I was just like, yeah, this is definitely, I could have watched this in bed, like Sunday in bed, lying down, and I would have maybe enjoyed it just as much.
Yeah. So for me, I thought the story, like the actual story itself of, you know, what's the guy's name? Keyshawn.
Oh, he's a joke, man.
Hobosexual, they call him.
All I got to say is that, listen, if there are any females out there that are like Alyssa, please use your senses.
Male orientated.
Use
females,
your senses,
women.
Because my goodness, she got woodenized, bro.
Yeah,
woodenized, and I genuinely couldn't believe it. I said, "Wow,
what is going on?" Like, even when it starts, and you're just thinking, "Okay, cool. What have you done with the rent money?" Oh yeah, he paid. As soon as she said she gave it to him, I said it's over.
Rap.
I said it's over. You're giving it to a guy who is basically homeless.
Yeah,
like it's insane. Have you not seen the yard that they're in, bro? Things are breaking.
Oh my days. So when that happened, I kind of knew, like, yeah, we're in for a sort of long sort of story onto how they can, you know, pay this rent. And I did find it funny when it came up with a timestamp at the start,
I like that,
to say X amount of hours before rent is due.
They had like 8 hours, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, I think they had. So I just thought, when I saw that stamp, I just said, buckle up, we're in for a journey. And I do like those sort of time stamp films, because it lets you know when the film is finishing, roughly.
Yeah.
You know, like, you get 2 hours left. You know that, okay, we're concluding here until, you know, the deadline or whatever. But when it's a bit ambiguous and there's no sort of timestamp, you're thinking, how long do we got?
Yeah.
But in terms of like the flow of the whole story, I do feel like the film was executed well in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long and it wasn't too short. For the time it was, I got out of the cinema thinking, yeah,
I was so satisfied, didn't
that's a decent watch.
I'm missing 1.5-hour films. Why you have us in the cinema for 3 hours all the time?
This is what I've been...
Because I think those films are more complex and they have more layers and they have a lot of pieces that need to be put together. But this, you have two people in the same sort of, not scenery, but in the same sort of like spaces throughout the film. Like, there was not much, you know, to piece together.
Yeah, there was.
It was either Alyssa and Dreux, or what's the other girl and Keyshawn? Bernice. But those were the only two sort of separate sort of scenes that we were seeing before they obviously came together.
Yeah.
So there was not really much that they could mess up, and it did give me a little bit of laughs here, but it wasn't what I expected. When I heard obviously it's come to UK cinemas, I'm thinking it did really well, so it's gonna like pop off and my belly's gonna be hurting because I'm laughing. It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. I'm not crazy about films, buddy comedies, where something goes wrong, you have to fix it by the end of the film. I'm not crazy about that, because I think once we're 30 minutes in and you guys have or once we're an hour in and we're like, finally they got the money, especially when they got the money and then Dreux went to a job interview and I was like, yes, we've got the money, but there's like 50 minutes left of this film. They're obviously going to mess it up. And I get frustrated watching those kind of things. I get frustrated. And
you get frustrated at, like, I was highly frustrated at Alyssa for most of the film, because I'm just like, do you not have a brain? Like, bro, I was rooting for obviously Keke Palmer's character Dreux, because I just saw she comes from obviously a struggling sort of background where she's trying to make the best of herself. Like, she's going for an interview, she's good at her job, she's also trying to uphold her friend as well, tell her friends her artwork is amazing. Like, she's, you know, she seems like she's a very level-headed, sensible person that despite her situation, she's trying to do good for herself. And I kind of resonate that with myself. Like, no matter what situation I am, I'm going to try to do well for myself. And then you just got this op that's supposed to be your friend just pulling you down, just like constantly pulling you down, and you have to fix their mess. Like, for me, you know when you're just like, oh, what's she done again? Like you're almost like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But she did her best to try and fix her wrongs, Alyssa. But the more she tried to fix it, the more damage she created. So I've had a little timeline of what's happened in the film.
I got that as well.
So
yep.
just what I've got, and if I've missed anything, let me know. So we had the rent money situation where she's obviously giving the money to Keyshawn.
Where is my money?
Yeah. And
Where's my money?
When I heard Uche, I said, yeah, they got a Nigerian here. As soon as I heard that name, I was in the cinema with Jada. I said, as soon as I heard that name, I said, you're going to be Nigerian, watch. They said, where is my money? I said, I knew it. I knew this guy. But anyway, rent money was due to Uche. Then they had the payday loan that was rejected.
That was a bit funny as well, a little bit. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
48!
Yeah. That was happening.
Credit score was looking crazy.
Then they had a target on their back from Bernice because she decided to jump in her crib, God knows why. Then they had the blood donation fiasco.
Yeah, that was
Then they had the food stolen from the drive-thru. Then they retrieved the Jordans from the, what do you call those things? Electrical lines? I don't know what you, I don't know what you call them.
Yeah.
Then she got electrocuted.
Yeah,
she got electrocuted. Then she's running out of the ambulance.
Oh, it's crazy, bro.
Then she's having a fight outside her job with Bernice. And then she loses the money again because obviously Bernice beats them up, loses the money.
That's crazy.
Then they get kicked out by Uche because obviously the deadline comes. And then they start doing an art sale. And then they end up running from the gangster in the neighborhood. And their house gets set on fire. It was a messy film.
Have you guys ever watched Friday?
Similar to that,
Friday, yeah.
Similar to
I've
that, yeah.
watched it. It is like the film is an ode to Friday.
Yeah.
I think there's even in
it's
the
like paying homage to
first,
it.
yeah, and I think even in the first, maybe the first clip when they're at home, Kiki's wearing the same flannel that Ice
Cube.
Ice Cube. I always say Ice T. He's in Law and Order SV.
Don't let me hear you that.
Ice Cube is wearing in the film that iconic flannel. So I can see the parallels, and this one was much like crazier, more over the top.
Yeah.
I know you said like this film doesn't have many layers to it, but I do think there's something to be said about Dreux and Alyssa's friendship, that they're in this constant cycle of like
Dreux and Alyssa.
Dreux and Alyssa.
Okay.
Oh
Where are we
no!
going?
Have I said something?
No, you have. No, sorry. I'm thinking Drew's Keyshawn. Sorry.
Oh no!
Yeah, Drew's. Yeah.
Just that they have this friendship. Alyssa's quite male orientated. She's type B, what they call it, more relaxed, and Drew's type A, just super sensible. And they're in this constant cycle of Alyssa messing up, Dreux fixes it, and then Alyssa brings Drew's self-esteem up, and then it's just this constant cycle. And it's like, at one point or another, they have to beat the cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
And that happens when, towards the end, when they decide to do that yard sale of Alyssa's art, and finally her self-esteem isn't attached to Keyshawn or men; it's attached to her actual art and her creativity.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's something deeper.
No, yeah, okay, fair enough. Because that does come out. I won't even lie to you. But when we talk about, I know you said you could point a couple of times you laughed. When was that you laughed?
You looking at me? You looking at her?
No, because I'm wondering how many laughs that
you know what
got
it is? I'm easily impressed.
Yeah.
Like, any little thing, like I would generally laugh in it. I can't lie to you.
So mine was the blood bank, and it wasn't so much the chaos of the blood bank. It was the camera was pointed at Alyssa, and then it pans to Dreux, and she's grey.
I was laughing.
That kills
was my
me.
scene as well.
And then, do you know what? I had to stop laughing when the blood started going everywhere, because I was like, no, the actual her being grey was funny crazy. As it was. And then the other moment, I was gonna say,
I swear she was only getting like $20 for that blood.
I don't even know how much blood she was giving.
They got and some food stamps.
But that's when I said, is this thing even like real? Because I know like legally, like when they said how much blood can I give, and then the black lady, I can't even remember what her name is, but she just basically said as much as you want. She was gonna kill that woman literally but I didn't even know how much she got from it.
Wasn't it like
they didn't end up getting anything
money
because it burst and it went on. I was just like, oh.
And whose fault was that? Because it burst.
Alyssa's, no.
Alyssa.
Yeah, it's all.
It's crazy, man.
That was literally the scene as well that I was actually like laughing, like giggling.
I laughed out loud. But that's Janelle James. She's in Abbott Elementary. Do you guys watch that?
No.
Nope.
We're all on such different wavelengths.
We are.
But she's really good in Abbott Elementary, and she was actually like kind of the same character in this, and she was great. And then the other scene was the money loan.
Yeah,
That was at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
that was funny.
And when the money loan woman, I need to find her name, started laughing at their credit score, I think he just brought out. That was really
that's
funny
a
as well.
violation. That's a violation because I saw where that where the line was.
Yeah.
It was literally in red. I said,
and she went from saying that we accept everyone, almost like you can't really have a bad credit, and then she saw that and then started
this
creasing.
is crazy. Even Cat Williams, I loved his appearance.
Oh,
lucky.
Yeah, lucky. Yeah,
Lucky.
he was. And to be honest, Cat Williams for me played himself.
Yeah,
Did he not play himself?
He basically
He
played himself.
did, but I was a bit not disappointed. But I heard he was in the film, and I've expected a little bit more from him. I felt like
It was subtle.
it was subtle, and it was like kind of a nod to the film of being like the comedy greats support this film. So I like that part of it, but I expected a
What
bit
was this
more.
film rated, by the way?
It's like a 6.6 out of 10.
No.
Rotten
Like
Tomatoes.
age. The film. Sorry.
Oh,
the actual
it's 15.
age. It was 15.
Yeah, 15.
I didn't feel like they had it many. Actually, they did. Now I'm thinking about it. But I didn't think a lot of stuff crossed the line in terms of like the humor. It was not too dark. It was not too. There was a few like obviously sexual things that were mentioned within the film. Like, but
Oh yeah, I just remembered. There was one scene that really cringed me. When flipping K. Sean and was it Bernice on the ice cream. Do you remember that?
ice cream.
They were eating the ice cream. This is when
I
K.
saw
Sean
that,
first came across Bernice in it because she was she was shaking her thing, and then all of a sudden they were eating the ice cream and doing the absolute most.
I said, I'm not gonna say.
I said, I can't be watching this, man. This is too much, bro. That's crazy.
But it didn't have too much where I thought, this is an adult sort of film.
Well, this is
It was
definitely
really silly.
Yes,
Therefore
maybe the
family friendly, innit?
swearing.
Okay.
And that's the only thing I could really think of. And then there was one scene with Kishon in the beginning. He was wearing boxers. Okay, thank you. And that was
the one that I said.
And I watched it with my mum.
That was a crazy scene.
And that was when I was like, oh, bad idea.
Yeah, no, that's what. No, when I saw, I said, thank God I ain't watching it because there's no way I brought it to cinema to be.
I didn't genuinely think they were gonna show that part. Like when they showed like just Kiki's reaction.
I
saw
thought that was it.
Cool, that's calm.
That.
And then they just turned the camera. I said, you ain't gotta do all that.
I thought it was a bit cheap. And
Yeah, it
my
was.
mum actually had
It was.
thoughts about it, but I don't know how detailed I can get. Where she was saying like that joke about black men and they're downstairs and stuff is a bit cheap. She said, which I actually agreed with.
Yeah. No,
It's an American thing, I don't know.
Yeah, it is because, like you said, I thought, okay, Kiki's eyes looking towards that direction in shock. It will insinuate that they didn't need to show that. I do. Other than that, I found it like it was a fun sort of film. It's a fun film, not funny, because it was not really funny, but it was fun. It was fun to go through the cycle and just to when it ended, it was like, oh, that was nice, that was cute, that was alright, and that's it. That's all I took from it. I didn't really deep it too much. But what do we think about like SZA and her acting debut?
You know what? I thought it was for the character that she was. I thought she done pretty well. To be fair, like I didn't really have any complaints. Just the way she was, her dopiness. Like I found that quite funny.
Yeah.
She suited the character really well, and obviously complemented Keke, Dreux perfectly, in my opinion. I had no complaints, man. She done her thing.
I won't be surprised if they are in a film together again. Some sort of similar, I don't want to call it like a black film, but you know what I mean, a similar sort of film where it's probably made by a black producer to encourage like black actors and stuff like that.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking
Get
for.
that man
Tyler
away
Perry
from
film. Tyler Perry film.
Wow, you had enough of him.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot right now, but yeah, because it seems like the chemistry was proper. You would not think that SZA this was her acting debut. You wouldn't think so.
I can't believe it.
Not because she was like, the most expressive actor ever, but it just felt natural.
I mean, there was at times where I felt like she wasn't like clear sometimes in some of the stuff she was saying, isn't it? That's a little nitpick. It's a tiny nitpick. That was mainly like when she first came on.
I didn't
in the
even
first scene when she came to pick up Dreux from
Yeah.
her workplace. That bit there, I thought.
I didn't know what she was saying either.
Yeah, I was joking.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
she was-
really?
Yeah,
like, all
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
That's what I was hearing, bro.
I was a
didn't
bit.
do that.
I felt like I had to rewind, but I was
That
in the
was
cinema.
going,
so I
yeah,
couldn't.
but so you can't, and that's the
Yeah.
thing when you're streaming at home. It's like, what did they say? You just
I didn't even
Yeah.
rewind. That's the maddest thing.
cinema. You can't do
But
that. You just have to let it go.
I will say, like, Keke's a seasoned, not just a seasoned actress, she's a
She's a
seasoned
vet.
entertainer.
Yeah.
I think she won the SAG-AFTRA for Entertainer of the Year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't know.
This year she won that award, like voted for actors by actors for the like Entertainer of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a seasoned entertainer. Like, you can just put her in this room and she would steal the show.
Yeah.
From us.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't think SZA was that far behind. I don't
No.
think Keke like at all.
Outshined her.
Outshined
anyway.
her.
No.
They
Like they were
pretty
pretty much
equal.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
equal, yeah.
no, that's the when we say complimenting, we're literally saying that they brought the best out of each other to create that chemistry. And I think if there's proper good reviews for the film, is the relationship between the two and the chemistry between the two that's driving whatever positivity is around this film. Because I can imagine it being other actors, the connection not being that great, it could be a mess potentially.
Agreed.
It could be a mess potentially.
You can tell these lot are like proper friends in real life as well, man.
Are they? 'Cause that's what made me think they
they're
are.
just bouncing
Are
off
they?
each other so
They,
easily.
I don't know, but they must be now. They
Yeah.
seem like friends. And also, do you not think at times, especially with Keke, it was definitely off script?
Yes,
felt
so
like
I
she
felt
was
like
just
there
talking.
was a lot of improv.
That's the word,
I got that
improvisation.
vibe as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of improv, and I felt like they gave them room to
Yeah.
do that because it will probably flow more natural. And I genuinely feel, I need to look into it, but I genuinely feel like the reason why it worked is because it gave them room to kind of like improvise. Like you didn't have to go for line, but
That's because it's her first, film
Yeah.
as well, innit? So kind of just making her feel comfortable.
and
with the
sometimes when
scenes.
you improv, it probably comes out better than how it was written.
Yeah, you know what?
They
Yeah, that's
can
true.
direct
That's
you
very true.
in like, this is what we roughly want you to say, but you as a person you envision this character and you say, this is how this character would have said it. And you put yourself in that position and you say it like that rather than saying this character said this. And I think that's why it really worked between the two. So I was very impressed with SZA and Keke Palmer. But we have other supporting members. Cat Williams, like we just mentioned, as Lucky.
Armin Joseph was in there.
Who?
Armin Joseph.
Oh, yes.
From Snowball.
From Snowball.
I don't want to say
King
all it
Lolo. King Lolo. Yeah.
He was killing me.
But when I saw him, I just said,
You couldn't tell it was him, innit?
yeah, I said, I think I know this guy.
This is my first time hearing this. I'm shocked myself. I didn't realise it was him.
But you
Yeah.
watched Snowfall.
I watched Snowfall.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
realise
him.
him.
It was him because I thought, oh, maybe not. But
was-
then as soon as I got home, checked it, it was him.
Yeah, it was when they came into the yard. So when they just had the screen on him and he had the
Yeah.
gun, he was walking up towards them. I
Yeah.
looked at his face. I said,
I know him.
I seen that face.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's crazy that he can change his voice in so many different ways, because
Yeah.
he don't sound like that.
Yeah,
Have you heard how he
I was
sounds?
thinking that's Unk. That's Unk. But no, I think the supporting actors were, I wouldn't say great, but I think they were okay.
Yeah, right. They did what they had to do.
Yeah, they did what
you
they
know.
had to
I had
do.
Maud Apatow. Maud Apatow. She played
Oh,
Bethany,
she was Becky
but
the White
she's
Hair.
in
Oh, yeah.
Euphoria. I really like Euphoria. So as soon as I saw
Of
her,
course, Ash know the white girl.
I have comments on that actually.
Go on.
That was jokes.
The idea of the white savior complex.
I was gonna
in
say
my
that.
opinion, as soon as she came and started like looking at the paintings, all of a sudden, it's not all of a sudden things were solved. She gave them a way out, but I am so sensitive to that trope.
Okay.
In movies these days, like I think Django Unchained, for example, that's another one where it's like a white savior, like a white person comes to save the day, and I hate that trope. It wasn't too pushed in our face in this movie, but I think Bethany could have easily been like a black valley girl who's never lived in the project.
Because I can't lie, I thought that when she got that first painting and she said, I'll buy this one, I was thinking, bro, she's gonna end up buying all the paintings and they're gonna get the money and then it's watch, that's it.
But the reason why for me that made sense, because I've been around white people that are so like lax about these things and they don't treat money the way I treat money. I'm not saying they don't value money, I value money, but like we see money a bit differently. They can go around and saying, like I've been in conversations where guys have been like, yeah, man, I'll grab that. What, 700? And I'm thinking, what?
700.
You're just
what you
thinking,
could do with that?
are you okay? Like, and it's not more to do with them saving us. It's to do with like, are you sure you want to buy that for?
Okay, that's
Are you sure you want to buy that for? Like, we're thinking, and I think even Keke Palmer's Dreux's character was even thinking. I think she kind of nudged
Alyssa, because Alyssa wasn't
get
getting
her
it.
get her act together. Like, they're here with the money, so it's like it's almost worth not playing them, but. If you're ready to throw the cash, we'll package this in whatever way you want
and get
it sold. But to us, we're not valuing it at, but money sells for them. They get inheritance and they get loads of things that make them not see money the same way. So they can literally say, "Oh, I like that painting. How much is that? 700? Yeah, cool.
It's like, easy, man.
Yeah, like take that. That's not even
that's
not. So I didn't see it as the white savior complex, but that is a good perspective to kind of see it from. But
I think I'm a bit pessimistic.
Yeah, maybe, but
I could tell she feels very strongly about that.
Yeah. But no, that didn't cross my mind at all. But yeah, I did think the supporting actors, they weren't great, but I think they did okay to make the film what it is. How did you feel about like the scenery? Like it was kind of like southern LA.
Yeah, it was giving LA vibes. I loved it, man.
Yeah,
give LA vibes.
Yeah, it makes me want to go to LA. Like
when we go in LA, people, we should
yes,
watch a movie in LA.
We should
invited to a premiere, guys.
We should.
Come on, Oscars. I know you're seeing this.
I know you're.
Bring
they
us,
need
man.
us
Invite
there.
us, man. Come on.
What location? Let us know. We'll be there.
But yeah, I thought it was really like vibrant.
Yeah,
it was bright.
Compared to a lot of films recently, which are so dull and dark, and you can't even see them. This was actually really colourful, vibrant. It was quite nice to see. And do you know the director?
No, who's the director?
Lawrence Lamont. I could be
Lawrence
wrong.
Lamont.
He hasn't actually directed many films, and this is the biggest one so far. But he directed a lot of Big Sean's projects, including I Don't F With You.
Okay.
Do you remember that video? It's on like a football
field
or whatever.
Field,
So that was like his big project, and then
Boy, it disappeared after that.
No, he's done so many of Big Sean's videos.
Okay,
but
since then.
who's watching Big Sean's video?
So is this his first movie?
Did you say who's watching Big Sean's video? Great.
I think it's his third.
His third movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably check him out. To be fair, I don't know how. Not checking the director didn't come across my mind for this film, but yeah, I'll definitely have a look. But when films are marketed like this, for example, the one with like obviously Michael B. Jordan and he's like the director and he's also in it. I'm thinking maybe Keke Palmer's on that sort of level as well, but clearly
I wouldn't be surprised if she isn't though.
No, I thought like the way she's in this and the way it was like marketed, I thought she would probably be like a producer or director or something like that. But
I feel like she definitely got a big say in certain things.
She probably did, and I want to see how much she got paid as well.
Yeah.
Even SZA as well, because it looks like these two. I mean, for now, like SZA's gonna command a decent bag now for a film, and I hope she's not just constrained to films like this.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, I hope like they give her, and it's up to her as well. She might not want to, but I hope they give her like room to kind of be what she wants as an actor, rather than caging her in like a black sort of comedy and saying any sort of jokey sort of films like, yeah, that's your bag. I don't want that for SZA. I'm speaking on behalf of her. Like, I know what she wants, but I want her to kind of like branch out and do different things. The way I feel like Keke can. Keke's been in these sort of films, but if she wanted to, Keke can actually be in a very serious film. Like, I don't know, if I do my research, I can find a few serious films that.
She's in that Mary J. Blige video crying. Have you seen it?
Oh my
She's in that Mary
She
J.
looks
Blige.
crazy. She looks crazy.
No, she could 100% do a dramatic role, and I could see SZA doing something quite like dark and dramatic. I think she'd do really well.
Yeah,
she definitely gives them kind of vibes on it.
Yeah, she just needs time, a few more films under her belt, and yeah, she could literally spread her wings for this one. But Ash, what we saying? Numbers?
Okay, so its budget, I think it's our lowest budget of the whole of the Movie Club UK. I might need to check this again.
Really, season 1 and season 2?
That's
season 1 and season 2. Need to check again, but its budget was 14 million. You don't hear that very often on the Movie Club UK. We're very used to the 200 millions. So see what you can actually do with 14 million, and
they done pretty damn good.
And they done very well. And so far it's made $49.9 million. So it's made
back to film and more.
Yeah, and more. And I think for a film to be sorry,
it has to be a success.
Oh gosh, the numbers are crazy. But I think for a film to be successful, it has to make back 3 times its budget.
Okay.
So it's made back. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's done really, really well. The first theatrical R-rated female black comedy since Girls Trip in 2017, and it made 4.5 million on its first day. It's currently rated 90% out of 99 critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's massive. I think, check out Instagram. I put up Captain America, our last review is on like 50% at the minute, so that's incredible.
Big difference, yeah.
It's amazing. And also, it's the first buddy comedy film starring 2 black women since BAPS, which was 28 years ago. I don't know if you ever watched BAPS, B-A-P-S, since 28 years ago. So as much as we're saying like SZA, we don't want to see another black comedy films, we do want to see more female black comedy films.
We do. If you're saying this is the first one in 28 years.
Yeah. And
28 years.
like you said, like it's the perfect, like just female black comedy in general. It's the perfect cinema trip for an easy watch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think they might make one of them days too?
I hope not.
Another one of them days. I can see it.
I can see
Another
them
one of them
because
days,
of the
that
money,
title.
because of the money they've made off like
I
a
want to
small
copyright
budget.
that and get them to back off you when they want to use it.
Because if they're making, what was it, 14 million, and then they made back, what was it, 49.9? I don't see
There's
why
no
not.
reason why you
Maybe-
won't come back and say, let's do this
Maybe
again.
a bigger budget. You maybe give, you bring back Cat Williams.
And this
give
is
him a
what, and
bigger
this
role.
is one of them films as well that if you do make a part 2, it will be better than part 1.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like part 1 with that 14 million is almost like this is an experiment,
Yeah.
and they've realized it's successful. Now they can fully say, maybe let's make the budget 50
So
million.
imagine now, like, we can see SZA. We can really see how she is in the acting world as well.
To be honest, when they do announce it, because now you guys have convinced me that they will, when they do, we'll say that we called it first, to be fair, and we titled it another one of them.
Viral clip.
Another one of those days we titled it as?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
At
nah.
Keke, at SZA.
Yeah, I see it coming. Fizz, what are people saying?
The people. Let me go and find it. Well, you know how it goes. You want to start with the good or the bad?
Start with the bad.
All right. Well, this person gave it a 3 out of 10. They said, boring movie made entertaining by people. If you really like SZA or Keke Palmer, then I could see you finding this film enjoyable. If you only kind of like those 2 women, find a different movie. This is the perfect example of a very stale movie being made popular with celebrity faces for no reasons besides money. Poor timing, pacing, one-liners and more. A better director or script could have made this potential comedy a genuine laugh-out-loud classic. The delivery wasn't too bad on anybody's role, but the movie was just so meh the whole time, even during the climax. I wouldn't call the movie bad, but I'm not going to call it good.
Fair enough.
3 out of 10 is a
Or
bit
3
harsh.
out
though.
of 10 you're saying it's bad. though.
That sounds like more of like a 5.
Well.
Like a 5, 6 kind of run.
Yeah. I can see people who don't like the 2 main leads. I can see that. I think maybe because we went in actually really liking Keke and SZA.
Like we said, we're big fans, but if you weren't, that might just
Like,
be a
why are
no-no
these
and a negative from the
2?
start.
Well, why is this one dumb lady giving her rent money to her boyfriend?
Yeah, that was scary. That's so
You
scary.
might hate the film from the start. Give us a good one.
This one, they gave it an 8 out of 10. They titled it Funny, Inspiring and Gritty. They said the 2 main characters of this film truly made this movie the success it is. I really think that the team behind the production couldn't have chosen a better casting. I love how realistic the movie shows how getting a job and going through steps to get there can be. I think the humour used in the film really brought together the whole movie. The parts of the story where it got a bit hectic was realistic and captivated me to continue watching. I really enjoyed the part of the movie where it showed the main character, played by Keke Palmer, hosting a party at her apartment. The ending of the movie was heartwarming and really made me feel good after watching it. SZA's character development was so great to watch throughout that film.
I agree. Apart from the character development,
I didn't really see any character development. Like
I
it wasn't like anything crazy.
I saw an angle where her perspective on things are a bit
Bro,
different.
she's got her senses together.
But I didn't see it as like a gradual development.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
imagine
just
like
saw
anything
one day.
crazy.
Oh yeah, cool. So my art is good. Okay, cool. I'll stop. Getting involved with guys that don't treat me right. Cool. But it's like that conclusion was reached at the end. It wasn't like gradually, like you can see her just changing her mind about certain things, and we get to the conclusion where she's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Who knows? She can still have tendencies to go back to Keyshawn and all that kind of stuff. Like
when she sent that picture to Keyshawn, I was like, "You've not changed at all."
Oh, so she's so
You've not
silly.
changed
Man. I couldn't
at all.
believe she sent that picture, man.
And then I don't think Dreux changed that much from start to finish. She still was the same
Audrey.
responsible, reliable
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah, it's not like she had to become less serious. She didn't need to. Like, what was Alyssa's actual criticisms of Dreux? She just said that I need to give you, like, I give you self-belief. I don't know what she said.
like a friend should.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Basically,
Like,
cheerleader, you know, making sure
but
cheering you on.
I don't
and that.
understand how that's a criticism of her, to be fair. She seems pretty straight up to me. And if anything, I think Dreux tries to inspire Alyssa by telling her paintings are good as well. So what's the trait like? I don't know.
Yeah,
What's
she'll
the
train her
point?
own paintings like poo, putting like shoes on that, leaving them all over the apartment.
So apart from that, just last line about character development, I kind of agree what's being said. What would our final ratings be for this film?
Do you want to go first?
Do you want to go first?
I'm struggling, so I'm gonna go because I just checked back. I gave Captain America a 6.9. I'm gonna give this a 7.25 because there was actually really nothing that wrong with the movie. It wasn't to my personal taste in terms of comedy, but I still enjoyed it. Like you said, it was really fun.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily find it really funny, but it was really fun, and I can't take that away from the film. And then I think Keke and SZA was great, so I feel like I'm giving it really low
7.25.
I think that's a decent. I
Yeah.
think that's a decent range
in terms
to
of
be
my
fair.
enjoyment. But then I'm saying, we want to push more black female comedy, and I'm having an internal struggle right now. So 7.25.
I would say a 7. I didn't really see, just like Ash said, I didn't see anything really wrong with the film. You know, it did what it had to do. It delivered the way it should have delivered. You know, Keke Palmer, amazing. SZA, great debut, especially for the budget that the film had. And yeah, it was just one of those films where, you know, I can't really be mad when the majority of the time I'm smiling and laughing. So, you know, I can only say good stuff about it, really.
Fair enough. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
You love a little 6, innit?
Ooh.
You love a little
A
6.
6.5. Not to say that the film wasn't good. You can't fault the film on a lot of things. It did what it was supposed to do. You could tell like it was almost an experiment, and it literally just exceeded expectations. So you can't say this is a bad film. And the chemistry between the two main actors really kind of pushed the film. However, if we're talking about, I'm leaning towards what you were saying about personal preference of what I would want from a film. It's not something that, okay, cool, it was cute, it was fun, and it was like, yeah, it's the end. But you can't put me in the cinema again to watch that.
Yeah, this is a home film.
Yeah.
This is a streaming
yeah.
film.
Yeah, you couldn't put me in the cinema again to watch it.
No.
I'll be quite
This is one of the films you watch with the family. at
Yeah,
home
you
and
watch
stuff
with the
like
family
that.
and you watch once and it's like, cool. But I'm not going to say, maybe if I wanted it as background noise, to say put on one of them days. But if you're talking about a film like we were recommending comedy films at the start of the podcast, this will not be close
No,
to,
it's not
It's
close,
true,
bro.
that's
It's
true.
not
to a
close.
recommendation. It wouldn't. But you couldn't fault the film majorly. It's just not up there in terms of like the quality.
Yeah.
And
I think that comes down to the budget, though, innit?
yeah,
If they had a bigger
that's
budget,
basically
then
what I'm trying to
yeah.
say. Like they did what they could with what was given, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if we're talking about like a quality, funny sort of film, this is not. This
Yeah.
is not on.
We've seen enough comedy films in our lifetime to know
That
the
this
standards
is not.
in
Yeah,
it. So
yeah, exactly. That's why I have 6.5. But overall, this gives us a 6.9 rating, and it is our final rating of season 2. 6.9 gives us on the all-time scores as goddamn.
Oh no.
Any guesses out of 20?
Guys, I'd like to give this film a 10, actually.
No.
Yeah.
Out of 20, just guess where that 6.9 is coming in.
16.
12th,
It's actually 15th.
15th.
Yeah, it's actually 15th.
So what's one above it and what's the one below it?
So the one above it is Barbie at 7 on the dot.
Barbie. Okay.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
below it is the one we just saw, Captain America, 6.4.
Oof.
I think you might have to lower that 7.2, you know.
Well, why?
No, he has to bring his up.
But you think this one was better than Captain America?
Yeah, for what it was, yeah.
I think they achieved. The difference
I mean,
is that
for
they
what-
actually
yeah, for
achieved
what-
what
yeah.
they set out to achieve. Captain America didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm
Literally,
okay
I
with
mean,
that.
that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair
Barbie
point.
is a different story, but
literally, there was things that we could nitpick, even though the people were angry. But there was people that we nitpicked about Captain America, why we gave it the score that we gave it. This film, like we said, as much as you want to nitpick, come on, the budget and the chemistry between the two and them achieving more than what they probably expected, it's not a bad film. So I think 6.9 is pretty fair. But that will be 15th on our all-time list. And for this season 2, that will be number 7. Okay. So it's kind of bottom 5 for all time and bottom 3 for this season. And I think it's quite fair, to be honest. But it also means that we've had a steady level of films that we've reviewed. It's not been too many bad films. I don't think there's been any terrible films apart from, Argyle and The Joker.
What about The Boogeyman?
And The Boogeyman. Yeah, Boogeyman from last season. But if we're talking about this season, let's say The Joker and Argyle are kind of down here, and every other film is been okay and above. Yeah, there's nothing on that sort of level of Joker or Argyle. So it's been a pretty successful season.
I don't know if it's just me, but anytime I go on our YouTube page and I see Argyle, I'm just like, I'm just like, we really actually wasted our time watching that film.
We did. But I think we were super harsh on it as well. But I get it.
I remember that budget was like 200 to 250 million.
That was basically, you see what one of the critics said when I was reading it out. It's basically like celebrities, just throwing celebrities in there and just hoping that it's gonna bang. But that wasn't the case. That's an example of it not banging.
Okay, so that's correct. So I think that's pretty fair. The scoreboards will be on the screen, so you guys can look where we've put the films in both the seasons. But yeah, that's pretty much it for season 2. The next episode, when we do one, should potentially be a quiz about season 2.
It's time to get my chain back.
Potentially, we just need to sort out a few things to make sure that can happen. But if not, we'll see you for season 3. And yeah, can't wait for it.
Woo!
Come on.
So all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.